Think about it. All of us used to talk with you. As I think about our business right now and the situation right now, it's very different than it was back.
What the reality is for Coupang and how you have had to set up the company and a specific tech.
Really understand the company, how it's evolved and how it'll continue to evolve, is to understand our mission statement. We have a unique mission statement that drives everything we do. It's to create a world where customers wonder, how did I ever live without Coupang? And what we mean by that is that we want to create exponentially better, not incrementally better, but exponentially better customer experiences, because customers don't say that, wow, how did I ever live without this? Unless it's something that breaks a fundamental trade-off. We are driven first and foremost, not by the desire to create a successful business, but really to create these transformative experiences that lead to successful businesses. And if you look back at our history, that we didn't start in the version that we are today. That kind of second founding happened about 6 years ago, and I think you were alluding to that. We didn't have dawn delivery, for example, 6 years ago.
Basically, if a consumer wants to go to you, and how about I let you describe dawn delivery?
Let me frame it as a trade-off that we broke. So we started looking at what's a typical trade-off you see in e-commerce. One of the classic trade-offs is selection and speed. We wanted to work backwards from this experience of getting millions of items delivered to you within hours. And that's what customers want. They don't want to trade off between selection and speed. So today on dawn delivery, you can order millions of items, everything from electronics to groceries. You can get watermelon and ice cream and your chicken, as well as your laptop or iPads or ballet tutus.
The Groupon model wasn't going to work for what you were trying to do.
As part of our DNA is when we looked in the mirror and said, look, we may have a successful business, but do we have the company that we set out to build? Are we living up to that mission statement? And the reality was no, because we hadn't broken any hard trade-offs for customers. The experience was just incrementally better at best. So we decided, we couldn't create that dawn delivery experience or returns experience. 6 years ago, we decided to deliver that kind of experience, to break that kind of trade-off. We needed to not only build a fulfillment network, but our own last mile delivery network and the technology to integrate it all. And that, to start off from day one in that kind of full integration and to build a technology that integrated everything from the start, we hadn't seen that before, and it was a big decision. Ended up taking billions of dollars, years of very, very hard work on the part of our teams.
Okay. And so can you tell us that story and why you were so confident that this was going to work?
We don't think of ourselves as, there's some companies that define themselves as a company that makes great cars or create great shoes. The way we define ourselves is we want to create moments of wow. We actually have a saying, we aim for unrealistic experiences, because if it's a realistic experience, chances are it's not new and it doesn't really break a meaningful trade-off. Example of people saying, look, if you want to build, X business model or something like another company Y, just do exactly what they do. Well, then that's not going to create an unrealistic experience. You're not going to get delivery within hours and millions of selection, available to you. You can provide convenience store level selection and delivery within hours, or you can have the convenience of ordering, but the inconvenience of returning. But if you want to break these trade-offs, I think we have to rethink the fundamental constraints. And that was the first moment where, I was trying to tell them, we're not trying to be a certain company. We're not trying to build a certain business model. We're really just trying to create another moment, an exciting moment of wow for our customers.
What pandemic e-commerce trends do you think are going to outlast this year?
Yeah, again, if you think back from the customer perspective, something like, think about the experiences you miss about pre-pandemic days. If you miss it, you probably will go back to it. If you don't miss it, you probably won't go back to it. So for example, with e-commerce, generally speaking, there maybe have been a lot of people who discovered how convenient, our rocket delivery and dawn delivery was. Are you going to miss going back out and taking time out of your weekend to make a trip somewhere to do that, to replace that? If you do, you'll probably go back to it. If you won't, you won't go back to it.
And so I wonder, what is the next moonshot bet that isn't for you?
Yeah, I don't believe in moonshot bets. I really think if you look at our investments, and by the way, we think of all our investments on this cohorted basis. Investments at the early stages don't take a lot of capital in the initial stages. We're just learning. As we track all of them very closely, and as they prove themselves out, as we get more and more confident about their future cash flow generation and their potential to wow the customer, that's when real capital is invested. So if you look at any kind of 1 to 2 year time frame for any of our investments, we're investing, but in a 5, 6, 7 year time frame, they're generating meaningful cash flows. And so